The drive to a game is similar to the drive to training, with a few extra points to be aware of. So to start with, do your prep. Be ready to support your child, not take out any frustrations on them. Gauge their mood and let them control the pace of the conversation. Know your child and their pre-match routines. Help them create consistency in their routine, but also don't become totally dependent on that routine or panic when it changes. Dealing with change is part of the process of developing resilience. Ask questions out of curiosity, starting with "I've noticed," and which relate to how they would like to play. Don't point verbal fingers by starting questions or statements with "you." Things such as "you should hit lots of runs today" or "you should take a lot of marks" don't really help. Always stay positive. Game day is not the time to create doubt in your child's mind. Be aware though, not to fill their head with unrealistic goals or outcomes. Kids can smell bull dung from miles away, and it's a good way of losing trust. Always be honest, but be selective as to when and how that honesty needs to be raised. The key on match day is to know your child and let them drive their own pre-match routine. They may get it wrong, but at least it will be on them. They can learn best from their own experience. If you drive it, they may not buy into it. And then what happens when you're not there? What do they do then? What about conversations during the match? In a nutshell, there shouldn't be any. Let the match conversations occur between those directly involved in the match, their teammates and coaches. Having conversations with your child can sometimes create confusion around the coach's messages and can take away the relevant focus for your child, because it's what you see and not what they see. That's not to say though that parent-child conversations during matches can't be useful. I would simply suggest that even though you probably know your child better than anyone does, there is the chance your conversations could be counterproductive. If conversations do occur, once again, make them positive without filling the space with bull dung, and ask curious questions using the "I've noticed" phrase. For example, "I've noticed your team aren't being able to sustain pressure. What do you think the solution is?" Handing out advice usually needs to be done with caution as well, and especially pointing verbal fingers by starting with "you." What about conversations with the coach? These shouldn't be too dissimilar than the ones with your child. Ask curious questions about topics they will be comfortable talking about. For example, what the game plan is today, as opposed to why certain players were or weren't picked. There is certainly nothing wrong with asking for focus points or strengths and work-ons for your child, but it's always good to ask how you can help with those. It's not your job to tell the coach how to do their job. And coaches need positivity too. They're people just like your child, so don't think that telling them what's wrong with the team won't hurt them. Ask questions, don't make statements, and then see where the conversation goes. Otherwise, sit back and relax on game day and enjoy sport for what it is.